say.
It took a minute, but we're finally here. Okay, so the big question that I have for you. Everybody packs their bag from California, Florida, moved to Texas. You packed your bag and you left Texas for Ron DeSantis.
Isn't
what prompted
everybody?
that?
I think as far as you look at the migration map of where people are moving to, it's definitely Florida and Texas. We definitely rank up there.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, but it's Texas. Personally, I
I'm wearing boots, okay? I was Miss Texas. I'm pretty darn Texan. My parents still live here.
You were Miss Texas. You were. What year was that?
2022.
Ooh.
I know.
All right. So I'll see the boot. There's a little bit of hope left. So that you left the door
open. The
open.
irony is that I was born in Boston. I grew up in Southern California. I went to school in Hawaii, Spain, Charleston, South Carolina. Went back to California, then to Texas for oil and gas for about 12 years. Got recruited into finance. Was there for it in Texas. So I just moved to Orlando, 2 years ago? I'll have been there. God, that's fast. But I'm moving to West Palm. So
you're moving again.
If I'm gonna be in Florida, I want to be in the beach. So I just like the community there. They've got a lot of triathlon teams. They've got a couple open water swim teams, which is a favorite pastime of mine with my dad. I literally did my first open water, rough water swim when I was 4.5. I made the front page of the Union Tribune.
4.5?
Literally, if you want to throw your kid to the sharks, that's what happened.
Dude, when I was 4, I was eating bugs.
Oh, I may have done that. I grew up with a bunch of boys, so
yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow. So being active is in your DNA.
Yeah, but I also like to be mobile. I think a lot of people who get stuck in places for their entire life just miss out on such a significant education and cultural experience and personal growth. And so as much as I love Texas, which I do, I love me some barbecue and some rodeo.
I don't know if you're allowed to say this anymore, but you're like a gypsy. You just travel.
We call it nomadic.
Okay. All right. Wow. Do you have your next spot already figured out after Palm Beach?
So literally July, I'm moving to Palm Beach. No idea where I want to go after that. I might come back.
But
my parents are. Yeah, I might move to Dallas. Was the next stop off.
Honestly, I'm growing to like Dallas more and more.
I kind of like it.
Everybody says Dallas is bougie, but
I'm fine with being labeled bougie.
You're sign me up.
Yeah.
And that's your area too, because a lot of financial
financial, a lot of medical, a lot of oil and gas. So definitely a great place to be.
Tell us a little bit about what you do. I know it's too complicated. It went over my head every time you told me, but I'm sure there's a lot of smart audiences out there that will understand what you're saying.
So first and foremost, baseline skill set, I'm a wealth manager. I'm a financial planner, but I am the chief revenue officer for EG Capital Holdings. We are, if you were to compare it to something, we are a fractional family office. So when you are a business owner, we're basically doing end-to-end financial planning, and we're bringing the dream team to surround you to execute on legal and insurance shopping and the rest of the alternative execution. So literally we're doing advanced tax strategy, right? So building out your ecosystem for leverageable investments, and then really supporting your CPA team and your controller and your accountant to understand cash flow management and how do we actually implement tax strategy the right way. Because as much as we love our CPAs, they do truly get paid to file taxes, and you're not always going to get proactive strategic advice when you need it. It always ends up happening in the rearview mirror, and you're like, well, damn, I really would have loved to have not spent $100K in taxes. How could have I deployed that differently so that I can get an NOL, a loss moving forward that carries forward? Or how do I offset, how do I get a negative K1? And anyways, so just tax strategy, asset protection strategy. We live in a very litigious society. So how do I protect what I've built? Then we've got trust structuring, estate planning, retirement planning, the investment strategy. So literally, if you want to build your portfolio, it's not always just buying real estate or heavy equipment. We want to be diversified. Like, you're not just going to shove it into a 401k and hope it's going to be there for you for retirement. Like, we want to be active in one, understanding what our risk tolerance is, what our time horizon is, like when do we want to access the money, liquidity, but also like, what's the fee structure inside of that portfolio? Am I just stuck in mutual funds if you just go to Fidelity? So anyways, it's just that conversation. And then exit strategy. So I'm a certified exit planning advisor. So part of this conversation is like planning for the end. An exit is 100% going to happen, whether it's on your terms or not. Like, if you end up dying, that is an exit, right? So it's
it's a big one.
But anyway, so like super long-winded answer, but yeah. So we're basically, I help people protect their money, make more of it, not necessarily have to give it all away to the IRS, and
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know which president was it that said the most patriotic thing an American can do is to find a way to pay the least amount of taxes. Yeah. I don't know who it was, but I know somebody said it. But you talked about the broad range of services that your company offers. Is there a set like clientele that you look for? A company has to be big enough to hire you guys, or average Joe that owns a plumbing company can hit up your phone and be like,
we
Tinja,
love blue collar.
Save me.
Like, absolutely, we love blue collar. The reality is that we can't really do much for lifestyle businesses. Like, so companies that are literally in existence just to be able to write stuff off, like that's not our ideal client. Like, if you're under like $1 million in revenue, like, we can't do a whole lot for you because you really don't have a tax burden. Our approach really is like, if we can't find a way to pay for ourselves in just tax mitigation and ROI alone, like, then it doesn't make sense to work with us. So like we work really hard to make sure that we're like paying for ourselves, and we demonstrate that like when we onboard a client before we even close, like in the plan presentation, we show them exactly what we would implement and the ROI that they would get just by implementing the baseline strategies.
Wow, that's a very good way to approach it, because it's a guarantee that you will bring benefit to that company, whatever it might be.
100%.
Wow, that's a very responsible approach, and it would make the sell a lot easier too. So
I'm very analytical. I'd much prefer to like show them how the watch is made and like the benefit of it, and then trust us for execution.
I've seen you. We had a little bit of delay getting into the studio today, and I've seen you work for the past 30 minutes. And it's rare that you find people who are good at what they do and they like what they do. And you were standing there taking phone calls, making things happen. I don't want to say what amount deals was moving around, but you seem like you were enjoying it. You seem like a kid at a candy store, and that's rare. I like to see people who are good at what they do and they enjoy it, and you executed it flawlessly.
Like, are you always this bubbly? Yes, pretty much, unless I'm pissed off.
Well, everybody get pissed off. Nobody expects you to like have that level all day, every day. Yeah. And I'm sure you get pissed off for
so it's funny because I'm a true introvert. Like, but
Are you?
Oh my God, yes. It's wild. Like, I have like semi-social anxiety. Like, if I'm in a non-work environment, I get like, I don't know how to have like bullshit conversations. I try.
When I first met you, it was at a networking event. And you were like a social butterfly.
Yeah, because it was literally networking for business. I was hunting business. But I don't want to waste my time at events like that. So like I make a really strategic point of like getting in and out of conversations to know who's in the room, who's going to be valuable. Like I said before, I'm just like, we're in a phase where it's like, I don't want to entertain something that's not meant for me. Like, I don't want to entertain relationships that are arduous and like I'm dragging people along. Like, we're either aligned or we're not. So like,
it could be draining.
Yeah. The energy vampires.
I'm honestly the same way. It doesn't give me anxiety when I'm in a social place. But my favorite thing is be alone by myself.
Yeah.
No noise.
In any of like the properties that I've had, like I've literally have had a handful of people come over. Like that is my like private like life. That's my bubble.
That's your sanctuary.
That's my like my personal space bubble. Like do not enter. I will invade your space, but you cannot invade mine.
Good to know.
Yeah.
It's the Texas in you. Intruders will be shot.
Yeah. I mean, I got a big old blue Doberman. So yes, guns and dogs. Thank you.
There you go. You do like guns.
I love guns.
Looking at your social media,
yeah.
Where is that?
You want to know what's on the list. So we talked about like sports and activities and all the things. Yeah. You want to know what's on the like
shooting
to-do
competition?
List? Yes. So I want to do tactical games. So there's a feeder like smaller event in Florida called the Patriot Games, which is like a fitness shooting event. And so there's a couple other like 3-shooter, 2-shooter events too. So yes, I'm excited to like try that. I gotta get through pro high rocks first, pro and single high rocks, like pro doubles, like in Q1. But yeah, and then we'll look at
you. Every time I see you, you're doing something different and you're doing something outrageously big that it takes a big commitment to like prep for.
Yeah.
Where do you find the energy? Where do you find the discipline to? I don't even have the urge to do anything. I'm like, leave me alone with my dogs.
I love it. I don't know. I got to a place in life like post divorce where I was just like living somebody else's vision and like dreams and building somebody else's life and building somebody else's like business plan. And I got to a place where I wanted to do epic shit. Like I grew up doing epic shit. And so my motto, like the last couple of years is do epic shit. I have a poster on in like print in my apartment that says do epic shit.
Literally.
And so like, I want to see what I'm capable of. And it's not that I like need to allocate like, I mean, everything takes time, energy, effort. Like that's what you can control. But like, I just want to see, like, I don't want to waste my potential. And I don't even know what my potential is. Like I haven't reached that limit yet.
What have you learned about yourself, putting yourself out there like that? Is there something that stood out to you?
So it's really interesting because this is how I was raised, like layering like really dynamic disciplines. So like I played Olympic development soccer. I held records in swimming. I sailed. I'm a 5-time national champion in just high school sailing. Well, 3-time. So yeah. Well, I can't claim my brother's titles, even though we're on the same team. But yeah, so, but that was just high school. And then I'm a collegiate All-American in sailing. So it was just more like, I don't know how else to operate. So now I've gotten much more formulaic with like how I allocate my time. But like, you just got to do the work. Like it's exciting. Like it's so cool to see like when you are at peak performance. And I just did an episode on this on my podcast of like peak performance. And like peak performance, like at the peak, it's a very small window. So it's just all the things that you're doing to make sure that you don't fuck it up to get there. Because like work gets in the way, family gets in the way, like relationships get in the way, stress gets in the way. And so it's just like figuring out how to just prioritize the things that are actually truly important for you to like operate at that level. Like that's the cool part. Like for me.
How important, I know this past week you took some time off, went in the woods with your dog. How essential is that?
Oh, the burnout mitigation? Yeah. Oh my God. 100%. Well, I talk about this a lot too, is like seasons and cycles. So like not every workout's a gut buster, right? We're not always going 100%. Like you have zone 2 workouts for a reason, which are just like boring AF. Like those are the things that you just do every day to make sure that you're building the base. And so it's just when we're this is why I'm also an introvert, right? Like I push a lot of energy because I get excited about what I do and who I help and the mission that we have and the things that I'm building. And you know, with the book and the community and then Champagne Club, and we got a lot of physical things on the books for 2026. Like, you don't operate well from an empty cup. You don't operate like you gotta fill it up. So like this whole self-care BS that people like to preach nowadays, like, sure, can you define it as like getting a massage and a facial and like whatever? That's for me, self-care is just protecting my peace. And like, do I like those things? Yes, but that's not what I would define as self-care.
For people that are introvert, typically when they put themselves in social circumstances, it's draining. It sucks the energy out of you. I feel the same way if I do an event that's 5 hours.
Yep.
The next day I feel like I'm hungover.
Yes.
Without even drinking because
yeah.
you have to
and then
give
when
so
you're
much of
stacking,
yourself.
so like me traveling for 11 weeks, like different like hardcore events, like we put on Leadership Lab. We did I went and supported one of our recruits for his F1 event. I went to Called to Lead with Sandy Glant, who she's a former Mrs. Texas International and multiple title holder in cross disciplines. She's the author of Slay Your Day. Her husband runs Grant Cardone. He's the president of Grant Cardone Industries. Like she's she's building an empire. And so I went to her event and it was outstanding. And then it was like back to back events that were just really profound. But like when you get so drained, you can't maximize those experiences. And so that was the piece that I really, like, to your point, like I was burning bright for too long. And like I get really frustrated because it's like I can't maximize the opportunity. And that's it just gets me.
Do you have an internal clock that tells you, hey,
I usually get sick.
So
my body shuts down.
You run it to eat till your nervous system is like, all right.
Which we're trying, like with Boundaries and Bullshit, the book I'm trying to write is like, we try not to get there.
What inspired the book?
Like so many things. Like the whole like ethos, the original like genesis of it was like I wanted to create a motivational speech. Like I wanted to be able to just because it went in tandem with the pursuit of I know, I just want to tell you all of it. Like it's a hard
Give us bits and pieces for now.
I'm like, that's literally gonna be the meme that goes viral. Love that. But no, like there's no Oscar for being the biggest people pleaser. Like in fact, it like is detrimental to you and everything that you're building and everything that you stand for being a people pleaser. Like nothing good comes from that except for being taken advantage of, and that's not good. So it's like boundaries and bullshit is the how hardcore are your boundaries going to be? Because a lot of people's boundaries are just porous. They're just like they have none. And so it's honestly, it's probably one of the most attractive things for me is when somebody has like pretty hardcore boundaries, and I'm like, it's amazing. It's so refreshing.
Show me rules.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, yes.
That is absolutely true. Most people, they don't even give that a second thought.
No.
We're told like, hey, give the shirt off your back to somebody in need, and people like whenever they feel like
they feel entitled.
Yeah.
Then
others feel entitled.
Yeah.
We talked about this earlier off camera. It's like people treat you how you allow them to treat you.
Yeah.
The moment you set those boundaries, the moment they feel uncomfortable, and then you realize, hey, this is not a right fit. And I struggle with that myself too. So whenever your book comes out, let me know, and I would love to read it, because if you just have people around you that don't lift you up, that don't improve your life, they're just filling up empty space.
Totally.
And for people like us that are introverts, you can just be alone by yourself, and it's better than anything else. So
like, yes.
So like, why spend that energy on other people? And everything in moderation.
Totally.
You seem like you have a large circle still.
Oh, for sure.
I'm assuming that you're picking who deserves to be in that circle.
Yeah, like I like relationships that I can like grow with. And I want to be challenged and engaged, and I want to like have interesting conversations. So I keep the circle pretty tight. Like as far as my personal relationships, but then I love a good business conversation. So my business community is pretty large. But yeah, I mean, with boundaries and bullshit, it's like it's quite a bit of autobiography.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of my experience, because for every win, and I've won a lot, like there's like inertia, right? There's equal and opposite reaction. So I've had to learn to rebound and start a baseline over and over and over. And it always just comes back to building your strategic plan. Like, what is it that you're trying to do? Because you can't swallow the ocean.
For somebody like you who has done a lot, what would you say is your biggest win?
It's funny because I wrote this question. I'm interviewing my brother in January on my show. And I wrote this question. I was like, out of all the accolades, what are you most proud of? He's like, I don't know. and my sister-in-law was like, that's a really good therapy question.
I love therapy.
I know. Well, because it's like, it's so hard for me to like, I think a lot of the accolades are just like,
It doesn't have
it's
to
never
be,
the accolade. Like,
it doesn't
yeah.
have to be that. To me, when I say that, I mean like what impacted you the most, and you accomplished something and you're like.
So I mean, I love that I was awarded Rookie of the Year. So like 2017, my parents retired, down cycle oil and gas. We got taken off of the approved vendor list. They gave me the intellectual property for the family consultancy, and they're like, here you go, we're gonna retire. So no client. Also got divorced that year. So it was just like, here you are at baseline. Like, great. What are you gonna do? So I ended up doing small contract consulting work, and then got recruited into finance, and then I got Rookie of the Year the year I got recruited. So it was being able to go from emotional baseline, financial baseline, and really just rebound as well as I did. I'd say I'm very proud of that.
It's amazing. It's not the biggest victory that you had. It's the one that came at the lowest point.
It's the ability to stay optimistic and confident when you are brand spanking new into a new career, a new company, to go from being an expert. So my mom's she's a PhD in communication, a neurolinguistic expert, and my family basically built out the go-to-market strategies for this oil and gas company globally, cross-divisionally, up and down the chain of command. We reworked engineering, project management, sales, service techs. Like we were manhandling very talented people to excel. Yeah. So to go from being in an expert role to a novice to a newbie to nobody cares who you are and what you have to say. You cannot be a prophet in your own backyard. Nobody cares. Like, shut up and do the work. So I'd say like the humility and the level of optimism and confidence in my figure it out mentality, I was very proud of.
Is mom a great communicator?
So the irony.
Usually that's the reason I ask.
I know. The irony is like as amazing as we are at consulting and navigating, negotiate, like teaching people how to present and negotiate, like our family really struggles with communication. We struggle. We try.
Because in real world, like you're dealing with business circumstances, right? It's black and white. When you're talking about family circumstances, it's not so black and white.
Exactly.
You can't unfamily the family. Like your friends, your employees, the people that you work with, at any point, you can be like, bye, Felicia, I'm gone. But inside your home, mom can be like, all right, Tinja, it was a great few years. You're fired. I'm going to go hire a new daughter.
Yeah. It's wild.
I see that a lot of times with people who I have a few friends who are therapists themselves, and like they struggle, and they tell me all the time. They're like, "Oh, I told my therapist this and that." I'm like, "All right, great." It's like I'm going like 3 times this week.
No, I find like the older generations never worked through whatever emotional challenges that they had growing up or through their careers, and so now our generation is having those really heavy conversations because it's like we don't need to perpetuate those cycles. And so it's having the come to Jesus conversations with your parents about things is not a pleasant, and I'm done participating in people's delusions. So we're in that phase.
Therapy was not a thing back in the day. I give them that. When my parents or your parents were our age, I think only crazy people went to the doctor to talk about their feelings, and it was something that was frowned upon. Nowadays, everybody's trying to look. We didn't have the information either. Now we do. So like you're trying to deal with like generations worth of trauma in 15, 20 years that we're doing this, and it's a little bit of chaotic.
Well, it's also, I mean, the culture back in the day, like, it's just a completely different environment, right? It's just like my dad was born in China. Like he got thrown out because of Mao Zedong's minority purge. It took him 13 years to get sponsored to immigrate to the United States. Like he grew up in poverty. So, I mean, I can't imagine just like rewiring things from that baseline to be able to just appreciate how kids are raised now. It's hard.
It was survival.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm a first generation immigrant to leaving Iran. It's a different mentality going through all of that and then trying to cope with what normal life is here. What year was it that you 70s, 60s, I'm assuming?
So he was born in the late 40s. So he immigrated 13 years later. So he was 16 when he immigrated.
Yeah. 60s. So, wow.
Yeah.
Those were crazy time in itself.
So it's just more like it was just a completely different culture. So I think in this day and age, we're all rewiring our programming so that we can live the way we want to live and not in a state of chaos.
I don't think we would ever get to that point that we think we are, because like now supposedly we have everything figured out, right? We were talking about how the gender classes is creating more problems than solutions today. I don't see us figuring that out within the next 5 years, 10 years.
I mean, I'm definitely so like I was raised like super hyper independent woman, and that's not necessarily the life that I want. It's the life that this culture has now created. And so it was funny. I was listening to some psychologists talk on this where it's like women don't need men now. We want them because of the financial capacity. Because back in the day, there was a financial dependency and an expectation, like religiously and culturally, that you get married and you stay married. And I think nowadays, because we are financially different, well off, we can provide for ourselves. We want a partnership. And like when we're looking at relationships, it's really and we were talking about marriage, right? Where it's my grandparents were World War II sweethearts. My other set of grandparents were high school sweethearts. My parents were high school sweethearts. Like you commit. Yeah. And so it's just trying to understand what like marriage is now for people has been wild, because it's like you're building a relation, like a partnership. You literally need to define the contract.
So has marriage changed, or our expectations of marriage have changed?
I think both. I mean, marriage as an institution has not changed, but I mean, I definitely think the provider aspect, like a lot of women in my economic status and business ownership role still want to be taken care of. Like we still want to be protected, and we still want to have like that, but that makes it really a smaller pool of men.
A lot. That was my next point. I'm like, when you say you're already successful, you make good money, your resume is long, right? So if, let's say there's 1,000 men, by the time somebody matches your level,
Totally.
it would be like 10. By the time you find out which one of them is gay, which one of them is not, which one of them is married, you're down to like half
You
a
sound
man.
like all the matchmakers I've interviewed.
That's the reality of,
Totally.
and you're,
And I'm really okay with it. I think so. It's wild because like the people I've like invited to, the women I have invited for my 40th birthday for next year, they're all like, well, half of them are married, but the ones that aren't are like bad bees that are all like making their own money. They're divorced. Like they keep trying at love, but it's just for whatever reason it doesn't work. And so for me,
why do you think it doesn't work?
I think men have a lot of things to work through as well. So,
Absolutely.
you know, I'm not a feminist by any means, but I do appreciate having equality. I was raised in an egalitarian household where my parents owned a business together. It's based off of my mom's expertise, but my dad made it all happen. So it's like to understand. So my dad played Mr. Mom because he had 2 vertebrae basically disintegrate on him.
Oh, wow.
So he was at home raising us in a severe amount of pain for several years while my mom carried the household. So like,
Wow.
as far as marriage goes, like that's a partnership, but they also ran a business together. So it's like there's not many partnerships that can survive all of it. So it's really interesting for me because I want somebody who can keep up with me intellectually, challenge me, you know, physically, and that's not like my pool is very small. So I am satisfied and at peace with God's plan.
No, that's great, and kudos to your mom and dad because working together is already hard. Being married is already hard. Doing both of them at the same time, but like you said, that's a true definition of a partnership.
Yep.
It's not you bring this to the table, I bring this to the table. If what you brought to the table is not there, I will pick up that slack.
It drives me crazy too when women are like, oh, like he pays the mortgage and like I take care of the kids. And I'm like, that's amazing. But like you should really, like from a responsibility standpoint, have some awareness of what's going on financially because like then you're beholden to whatever. So it's just I've seen too many of the negative side of that kind of relationship where you're not having responsible conversation around finances and, you know, legal, like getting your wills and estate and like, and the dad being present in the kids' stuff is important as well. So
back in a day, from what I've witnessed, people that had successful marriages, the dad worked, he brought the money home, but the mom also knew finance. She ran the finances for the home. Yeah. It was that kind of partnership. And you're right. The more I think about it now, the people in today's society, when that's the case, the man handles everything finance related. So the woman is left in the dark.
I mean, goodness gracious, if things were different, I would be an amazing stay-at-home mom. I already got my game plan for the cookbook and the food blog and but that's not what the cards are for me right now. So
well, life is continuous, right?
For sure. We're not on any timeline. So if I have them, great. If I don't, it's fine.
Great. Yeah, being content with what you got in life is the hardest thing. And I've seen people who have the kids, they're not happy. I've seen the people who are broke that are happy. And I've seen the people who are rich that are not happy. Yeah. And like, it's such a individual thing. I've seen you work. And the happy that you were there, I don't know when was the last time I've seen somebody that genuinely happy. You're on like fourth quarter. It's the 29th today.
Yeah, it's deadline.
You're in like fourth quarter, like about to go to overtime, and you're still busting your ass, and you're doing it with a smile on your face, and you're excited about it. You're not like, oh, I gotta take this business call. You were doing a happy dance. So like, who says that brings you less joy than having a
I get to make my clients win.
Yeah.
I get to win from. So I live by this rule. I do not win unless the clients win, and I hate to lose. So I will.
Whew. If that was a line that would get you hired, I think that's the line. Wow.
Like I'd much prefer being emphatically enthusiastic about winning for your client and doing it the right way than just begrudgingly like going about your day. Like that just sounds miserable.
You have certain qualities that I think, me included, I think everybody can learn from. You do a lot of stuff.
Thank you.
With that comes, well, wait. With that comes like the risk of failure. How do you deal with that emotionally? Like, how do you accept?
I mean, it's any good like professional athlete's mentality of like you have to fail to win. Like you have to be willing to fail to trying something on. So it's like the seasons and the cycles of the build. So like you have to expect to fail enough times that you succeed. So like in any sport, right? And business is a sport. Like you have to do enough reps where you fail so that when it's showtime and you're in front of the client or you're on the field or you're, you know, it's for the record, you don't buck it up. Like you don't fail. Like you fail enough times ahead of time that you've done everything to prevent failure. So it's any negotiation. This is why, like, I always think it's funny when people say, you should have been an attorney. No, I don't want to argue. I want to have it so buttoned up that I don't need to argue. Like it just nail in the coffin. Here's the execution strategy. Like here is the strategy, follow the plan, do the work, and you will win.
I have a good buddy of mine. He's an attorney. He just solely works with businesses, and I always tell him, I'm like, hey, how often you go to court for like your cases and stuff? He's like, barely ever. Same thing that you told me. He was like, you go in to any transaction, any deals, doing it the right way, and you avoid litigation altogether. So preparation is key.
But I want to, so like I wasn't always good at failing. Like it used to kill me. Like it used to drive me crazy. Like I used to just have meltdowns like growing up. It was my ex-husband who actually taught me how to fail.
There you go.
No, it wasn't great. He was so talented at everything that I couldn't win. And that's like unheard.
Is that why you got divorced?
I
just wanted to win.
That's
a whole chapter in the book.
It's a whole chapter. No. No, like so it was funny, like growing up, like always had the expectation to win. So like everything that we did, like I was top scorer, state champion, CIF champion, like all the things. But like every time we lost, like I'd have a meltdown. Like I was so like stranglehold around the win. Like I wanted to win so bad. But it's like if you hold on to something too tight, you'll never keep it. Like, yeah.
That's what cripples most people. Like I talk to people all the time, very talented folks. They could literally do anything and they would succeed. And just the moment they entertain idea, they get excited. The next moment that follows is, what if I fail? What would people say? What would my wife say? What would my kids think? What would my parents think? I would be a failure in front of everybody's eyes. And in reality, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody's even watching you. Like, nobody cares.
But what's better than a comeback story? You know?
Exactly.
There's nothing better than a comeback story.
The cost of not doing it in the face of fear, to me, is the biggest.
Yeah. Like I've been brought to my knees more times than I can count. So like it's how quickly can you do your after action review, figure out what went right, what went wrong, how do you fix what went wrong, and do it better next time. So if the goal needs to change the target. But if operations need to change the plan. That's it.
That's just life.
It's life.
There's nobody that's alive that said, I only won in life. Everybody had L's.
Yeah.
And we will keep on having L's.
But I used to be like horrible at losing. I would get very upset. So I had to learn.
You're struggling with that anymore.
I had to learn.
And
it was a very uncomfortable phase in my life.
The more I learn about your book too, and it's very brave doing that, because you're putting your life out there and you open yourself to criticism, and there's no privacy anymore at that point.
Yeah.
Have you let all of that settle in your mind?
So it's been interesting because like I even got on TikTok, and then like the randos start following you and saving your stuff, and I'm like, God, this is so weird. Like I immediately am like, should this be on private? Like even just like the silly stuff, and I'm just like, I would hate to go viral. Like I would hate to be a like I'd love to be notorious. I would hate to have celebrity status. Like I'd like to be well known.
That's the double-edged sword.
Yeah. So we will see how this evolves, because I've contracted with a media management company and Motivation and Success Network, and his claim to fame is that he's a celebrity maker, and I'm like, oh, God bless. I mean, we're building a brand, and so it's important to me to be able to have like a brand that I can sell at some point. So yeah, like with trademarking and all the things. So it's like we can package it up and get a valuation and get a multiple and all the things.
I have a good feeling that you will succeed. You know what you're talking about, and you're persistent.
Tenacious.
Tenacious, yeah, even better word. Like anything that you do it long enough, you get better at it. And I don't see a way that you will fail unless you stop. I think that would be the only. You said you have a podcast yourself. What's the name of it? Tell our audience.
It's called The Pursuit of Excellence. Sometimes it's hard to find because somebody wrote a book called The Pursuit of Excellence, but you just got a Pursuit of Excellence show or Pursuit of Excellence podcast. It usually pops up. Both. So we're moving it from the podcast to a TV show. So with the Motivation and Success Network, it's streamed on all platforms. So we're moving it to a TV show.
So not on YouTube, Rumble.
It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. It's on Roku. It's on Amazon Fire. It's like anywhere you stream video content, it's on.
How long have you been doing that for?
So I launched in April.
Nice.
So it's been a learning curve, to be very honest. Like it like I had a clear vision because the whole like thesis of it was because I wanted to compete again for a crown, for a title. And when I was Ms. Texas, I did it for celiac awareness and served over 15 nonprofits and then wrote a cookbook. So my platform was celiac awareness. Right, I said that. But I was governed by broker-dealer regulations with FINRA, so I couldn't do financial literacy the way I wanted to. So I didn't maximize that platform for where I actually allocate most of my time, which is in the financial world. And so I really wanted to be able to pivot and talk about financial things. And so Pursuit of Excellence, it falls under like the financial trademarking side of things, which is great. But so whole point was I wanted to potentially go for another crown. And so I wanted to have a platform built out, which was the Pursuit of Excellence, talking about money mindset, best practices, lessons learned, come to Jesus experiences. So literally talking to top talent, elite performers, business owners. Like, what is it that was a catalyst for you to achieve success at the level that you have had? You know, what are the things that you're most proud of? What are the non-negotiables that you have? Like, what is it that sets your soul on fire for you to like create and recast vision consistently? And how do you build teams to do that? Like, what is it from a leadership standpoint that you're doing that people can replicate? Like all of those conversations. But originally it was because I wanted to compete in a pageant.
Can you talk about finance now, or
so
still,
I can. It's still regulated.
It's
so
still regulated.
SEC and FINRA regulate the financial institution. So with FINRA, they're more aggressive with what they regulate, but I'm no longer a career agent at a broker dealer at a mutual company. So I'm not regulated by FINRA. I report directly to the SEC. So I am an RIA. So we do all of our own compliance in-house and report. So when we get audited, it's directly to the SEC. So the challenge is that when you're dealing with regulation, it's the difference between education and advice. So how do you define what's advice versus what's education? So who's the audience? How, like, we can't give advice, blanket advice like this for production. Like it needs to be very specific, because under regulation best interest, you have to give specific recommendations for specific situations for that client.
So you gotta be careful with how you phrase things.
Yeah.
But you still can.
Yes,
Okay.
I have to get permission from compliance, and everything
Every
has
time.
to get recorded and submitted to compliance, and so there's
wow.
a record of it. So like everything gets audited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of it. Pursuit of Excellence show. What does excellence mean to you?
I know. Every time I interview a new guest, I ask them that question, they come back with a different definition. So for me, excellence is keeping your promises to yourself. Like, you do what you say you're going to do. Like, if you're going to set out
That's a
for,
good one.
like, that's it. So a lot of times I focus on the pursuit, though, because it's the journey. A lot of times like excellence is unachievable, because the people equate it to perfection, and it's not perfection. Excellence is in how you operate. Excellence is in your everyday habits. Excellence is in how you lead your teams. Excellence in what you put into your body. Excellence is like literally like keep your promise to yourself is really how I define it.
And that's the thing. People don't give things too much thought. Like you said, excellence and perfection is often misconstrued by one another. But excellence, I think, is your own best.
Absolutely.
It's not somebody else's. It's not perfection, which is impossible. Only one man that did it. We can talk about that later. But keeping your word to yourself. That
I also like the golden rule, right? You leave everything that you touch better than how you found it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple.
I was talking to a buddy of mine, and we were talking about Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules
I
of Life.
literally just signed up for his academy.
Did you?
Yeah, so I'm building a mastermind group to do his academy for 2026. But yes, the 12 rules. Go ahead, sorry.
And one of those rules are treat yourself as somebody you're responsible for. And if you have a kid, that kid needs to go to school, you make sure that kid goes to school. He needs to be fed. He needs to be showered. We know what we must do as individuals, and whatever it is, the fear of failure, I don't have time right now, I don't have the money right now. We put little hurdles in front of ourselves to make us not live to what we want to do. And that's the hardest part.
We self-sabotage
all the time.
And we give ourselves excuses. We'd rather be lazy.
Because there's nobody to challenge you when you give that excuse, right? I don't want to get up and go to the gym at 5 a.m. You have that thought at 5.
And then if somebody does challenge you, do you get defensive? Or do you get excited? You know?
To me, I react differently. It's like how they challenge you.
Sure. It's all tone and delivery.
Yeah,
sure.
The people that are empowering you, they got to approach it the right way too, right? It's like...
Get up. Do it.
Stop being a lazy so-and-so. It's like I don't know, like watching parents when I was a kid, like anytime that I didn't want to do anything. It was the soft approach of my mom. Come on, honey, go do this, go do that. Then it's the dad from the back. I'm counting to 1, 2. All right, gone. Yeah. Whatever gets you up. Yeah. We're not kids anymore, so it's that voice in your head.
Absolutely.
That's supposed to guide you, and I struggle with that still.
I pay people so that I'm accountable.
You pay? Hold on.
So like, I'll pay for like coaching programs, right?
Okay.
So I put a monetary price to the things that I'm going to invest my time into because I don't want to waste an investment. So that's how I stay accountable, is one, investment of money and time.
Yeah.
I also like coaches that are a little like tough love.
Yeah.
That are like, what the fuck are you doing? So did you get the workout in today? I was like, no, I didn't. Like work got in the way.
Then they get on
and then but it's more like a check-in that I'm perceiving as like them being mean.
Is it being judged? Or?
That's how I feel. So okay. fear of failure, like people pleasing. This is how I use it to my advantage.
That's a good fear of failure.
Literally everything I've ever done in my life, it's fear of failure. Like I'm more of the carrot or the stick philosophy. I am 100% a carrot. You put a carrot out there, I work 10 times harder for that win than if you're gonna yell at me. Like, just make it fun, and I will be a beast. Like, if I'm being like drilled into the ground, like just mentally, no. But if I'm going to hold myself accountable, no, I gotta put money into it. I gotta have like milestone check marks of what did I get out of this? And then I love to have a coach or like training partners that keep me on my shit.
So a lot of planning, a lot of holding your feet to the fire by other people, but way to turn a weakness into a strength.
I try.
A lot of people just tread water.
Yeah.
They go through life not wanting to change because that's hard.
It's hard.
That's hard.
It's
like
hard.
Having somebody else that you don't even know, that you're not friends with, that you're paying to watch over you to make sure you do this stuff. It's an insane idea to me because one of my good friends is JC Gonzalez. He's a coach.
Okay.
And I've listened to the conversation with people that he coaches, and I'm like, they're paying you for this? Yeah. Now I get it. It's
just like you got to find a coaching style that works for you. I'm very particular about how I like to be coached, so it takes me a while to find somebody that I really jive with, because if you haven't done what I'm trying to do, I have a hard time respecting the coaching. If it's the compliment sandwich isn't there, I have a hard time with it. Like, I don't need all criticism. Like, I also don't need all love. Like, I like strategic coaching because of the way my learning style. So the way I like to progress and learn a new skill set is I need to see it. I need to hear it. I need to try it on. I need to try to fix it myself. You can break it down, but like, I need the auditory and the visual. So like, I am a learning style person, which makes me really difficult to coach. So like, I have a natural ability, but like, I got to go to a bunch of different resources to be able to really dissect the game. So like, we like to say, play the movie. So you break down the game. So you figure out, okay, like in my brain, I can visualize myself doing it. And then I have to figure out what my body's not doing that's like affecting the output. Anyway, so
you look at this as you're hard to coach, but I think you having that mentality of what it takes, I think it would make you easy to coach because the boundaries, you already set it in your head, and I'm sure the coach knows those boundaries, correct? So when it comes time for execution, I have this phrase, plan, prepare, execute.
Okay.
If you do the first two right, the third one becomes a breeze.
Yeah.
I'm sure you interview those coaches. you test the water, and everything is relationship at the end of the day. If that relationship is built on respect and like you understand each other and those boundaries are set and you both hold on to those boundaries, it would be easy.
So one of my favorite coaches, he's actually here. He's a trainer. I met him playing blondes versus brunettes, which is like Alzheimer's football fundraiser thing. It's a whole thing. I played on the brunettes, wildly enough. Anyways, so he is he's a personal trainer. He's got like an amazing book of business, but he also coaches football, baseball, wrestling. And then volunteer. I think he's done coaching the blondes versus brunettes. He did like 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, he's an exceptional performance coach, but like every time that I've gone into a training program with him, he's just like, what are we trying to do? So it's like very strategic. And so now he still like builds me programs. And then it's because it's performance training. It's not just like any one particular sport. Like I want to be well-rounded across the base. So one, finding the right equipment to execute his strategies. Anyways, he's local. So if you, nice. Tony Dobson, if you need a good, solid performance coach, check him out. Shout out. But he gets it. Like he's a no BS kind of guy. Awesome. Like, he just fully dials in and he just looks at you. If you're not doing it, he's just,
you know better.
You good? No, I'm not.
That's the quality of a good coach. Just by the look, you already know. So you do a lot of things that empowers yourself. You put a lot of your effort into it. You're part of a group called Champagne
Club.
Champagne Club.
Yeah.
You put a lot of your energy on helping other founders, especially women. This group is solely women, correct?
Yes.
Why you do so much? Why do more, and why is it important that you help other women, especially founders?
So wild enough, I'm very uncomfortable in rooms full of women. I just vibe better in rooms full of guys. It's just easier. Not so many feelings.
I can see that.
I just like I don't know what to do with all the emotions. Yeah. So I made a point to myself this last year of like I need to be in rooms with women. Women are badass. They're obviously running amazing organizations. It's a huge demographic that's not comfortable talking about money. And so Champagne Club, Carrie Ford has created an awesome platform, community, and so I'm coming in licensing her platform and her format for Champagne Club. So I'm going to be hosting 2 female founder financial strategy events. One's going to be in West Palm and one's going to be in California. And it's for female founders that have already built empires that want to get dialed in strategic. But we're going to be talking about case studies for financial execution, tax strategy, like investment strategy. There'll be specific deals exclusively for the attendees that they have access to for investments. But the front end part of the workshop, so not only is it like networking with like-minded women who are in similar situations, which is just a whole nother level of like symbiotic networking. It's really wild when you get women that all think the same way in the same room, and it's you're like best friends before you even you get out the car. You're like, hi. Yeah. Anyways, so the somatic part. So Carrie is a trauma-trained somatic leadership coach, executive coach. So we're going to tap into the somatic side of money. So like your body, so somatic, I'm going to butcher the actual definition of it, but we've all experienced trauma. It's stored in your body in some capacity. So somatics helps identify and release where your body's actually stored that trauma. It's wild. So like anytime you're like triggered by something, what does it feel like? Where do you feel it? Like how did it like manifest? What color is it? Just wild. Like the first time I went to a somatics thing with her, I felt like I was learning a new language. But we're still working out the run of show and like true expected outcomes from the workshop, but it'll just be a level up of understanding about money, how you feel about money, what's preventing you from making it, what's preventing you from investing it, what's preventing you from maximizing it, what, you know, or what are you doing really well? Can you share those things? So it's just it'll be a really interesting mastermind experience.
Is this organization more focused on the workshop aspect of thing, or is this a community as well?
It's a community, but workshop, yes. It's also an opportunity for us to all get cute and be glam, and so
I thought you guys do that every day.
So part of it is a luxury dining experience where we also have a phenomenal photographer as part of it, so they're getting content. They're like, yeah, so everybody wears gold or champagne. It's usually super glam. So that's the evening experience, and then the workshop. So you get hardcore breakthroughs and bonding and networking and tactical takeaways, and then evening of enjoying really good food and wine and good company in full glam.
How long has Carrie been running this organization before you joined?
So the launch of Champagne Club, I think, was 2 years ago.
Okay.
So it's new, but she's built out an incredible organization for her, like Elevate by Carrie. So she's got roundtable, like a founders roundtable that she does monthly. But yeah, her SOPs for the Champagne Club are outstanding. So being able to tap into something that's already working. And she's already built an incredible community. I'm happy to bring a different dynamic from the financial lens to that group.
So I noticed on y'all's website that cities always differ.
So she's based out of Atlanta. So she's done 2 or 3 in Atlanta and 1 in Miami. And then one of the other hosts is going to host in Chicago, I think is what they were trying to do. And then in Atlanta, I'm going California and in West Palm. So
when is the West Palm one?
So West Palm's in April 18th.
So you're not there yet.
I don't need to live there to host it. But the workshop space that I found is outstanding. Still working on the private dining room for us to like hang out in. So all of that will get booked Q1, and then San Diego for October 3rd. So.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
You got your plate full, but I'm fully confident that you got that handled. I'm excited about your competition as well. So keep me posted on that. Go kick ass as you always do.
It'll be fun.
And tell our viewers before we wrap up where they can find you.
Yes.
You're everywhere. So
I'm
what's
everywhere.
the handle?
Well, I'm very Googleable as a to start.
Nobody else has that name?
No. So Tinja Anderson on all social media platforms. Literally my team just finished out putting me on everything. So but super easy to find on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok is now live. Obviously egcapitalholdings.co. Pursuit of Excellence show. You can also download the free app called Motivation and Success Network, so you can watch the show on that and check out all the people that are on that platform. Yeah.
When are you hoping to release a book?
Yes. I'm so excited. So I'm trying to finish final edits this week. Hopefully launch January, February 2026. And then with the book launch, it will also be a community launch. So stay tuned for that, which I'm very excited for that build out. So,
perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you for your time. As always, it's a joy to have you and talk to you and learn from all the great things that you're doing. We're going to be watching you for the next few months. So
thank you for having me.
You're going to find a bunch of other people that are going to hold your feet to the fire. Go win those competitions. Good luck with the move. And whenever you decide to move back to Texas, we keep the seat warm for you.
Thank you.